Adoatv, bringing good things to life.
And welcome to the news at 6 on Adoa TV, coming to you live from our studios on the John Evans at Mills High Street in Accra. Remember, we're also streaming live on Facebook at Adoa TV Ghana. The evening news is brought to you by Asatec Roofing Sheet and Cookware, Blue City Ties and Accessories, and Verna Mineral Water. My name is Benedicta Dodu. In tonight's bulletin, the Minority Voter Caucus in Parliament has called on the President, His Excellency Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, to retract a statement he made while conducting an interview on Accra-based radio station Peace FM. We'll bring you more shortly. More local stories. Lawyer Koto Ampao has echoed that the memorandum he and 17 others presented before Parliament against the anti-LGBTQ+ bill is not for the legalization of same-sex marriage in Ghana. Again, some tricycle operators have expressed dissatisfaction on the ban on tricycles, their operation on major highways in the capital by the regional minister, Henry Quartey. And in business, Mr. Samuel Atu-Agri has said Ghana needs to have strong financing before partaking in AFCFTA. And finally, in sports, some referees who partook in the referee training course at the Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence have shared their experience, and we'll bring you more on that shortly. Details of these stories and more in this bulletin. Now, moving on to our first story, the Minority Voter Caucus in Parliament are demanding that His Excellency President Nana Addo Akufo-Addo retracts what they describe as an upfront and total disrespect to Togbi Agbojagaga, Amenya Fiti V, and the entire Volta region for his Build It Yourself response to the uncompleted E-block in Aflao. According to them, Togbi Amenya Fiti V rather deserves praise for prioritizing education and not the harsh disrespect from the president.
This call follows the president's statement to Togbi Azonganga Amenya Fiti, the people of Aflao, telling the chief to go ahead and complete the Aflao E-block if he feels it has taken too long to be completed.
Self has complained. Ohini wa flower patch say e-block no oba yenya hwehwe. Inti on my education minister up to February say on be hu bibi. It's an say
ono no ma minister ultimatum.
So abre.
And on for
The 9 billion Ghana City project, which was one of the many projects started during the Eswal Mahama's administration and was expected to serve the residents of Aflao and its environs, but was abandoned after Mr. Mahama left office in 2017. This response did not go down well with the people of Aflao and subsequently the Minority Voter Caucus of Parliament. At a press conference outside the chambers of Parliament, MP for Ketu South, Jifa Gomashi, noted that in the supreme interest of the country's peace and unity, as well as to promote diversity, Article 26 of the 1992 Constitution, the cultural policy of Ghana and UNESCO supports the practice of culture.
Our revered chiefs and custodians of our proud traditions deserve utmost respect at all times, regardless of which part of the country they exercise their authority and what they wear or in which region they come from. In the supreme interest of this country's peace and unity and to promote diversity, Article 26 of the 1992 Constitution states in unambiguous language that every person is entitled to enjoy, practice, profess, maintain, and promote any culture, language, tradition, or religion subject to the provisions of this Constitution. The United Nations also has UNESCO and has written the following in its vision. In this spirit, I quote, in this spirit, UNESCO develops educational tools to help people live as global citizens free of hate and intolerance by promoting cultural heritage and the equal dignity of all cultures. I dare add, irrespective of the stool or skin they sit on. Additionally, in the cultural policy of Ghana, the question of culture is succinctly captured in the introduction as, I quote, "Our culture is a way of life evolved by our people through experience and reflection in the attempt to fashion a harmonious coexistence with our environment."
In this light, Togbi Amenya-Fiti deserves praise for prioritizing education and not the harsh disrespect from the president.
This culture is dynamic and gives order and meaning to the social, political, economic, aesthetic, and religious practices of our people. Our culture also gives us a distinct identity as a people. The respected traditional ruler merely advocated for an abandoned E-block in his community to be completed so his people will have fair access to education. As citizens and bona fide taxpayers, that wasn't too much to ask. Togbi Adongaga Amenya-Fiti V, Daho, of the Aflao traditional area, deserves praise for prioritizing education and speaking out against the culture of abandoning inherited projects. He does not deserve such disrespect from the President of the Republic of Ghana.
Hence, they demand a retraction and an apology from the president to the Aflao chief.
The President's conduct, which we do not see him exhibit against chiefs from other parts of the country, is a total affront to the entire Volta region and the Aflao traditional area in particular. We demand a retraction and apology from His Excellency the President. A united Ghana with a common destiny is undermined by such reckless and discriminatory conduct of the President.
That notwithstanding, the Ketu South legislature disclosed that a GoFundMe account would be created to receive donations and support to aid complete the E-block, as the president says.
Going forward, I will be launching a GoFundMe account for donations to finish the E-block as instructed by the President's infamous retort, and I entreat all Aflauvio and well-meaning Ghanaians to donate generously. Akwana Misia.
Chancellor of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Otumfuo Osei-Tutu II, has warned encroachers of the university land to stay off or face his wrath. He says any chief who allocates part of the KNUST land will have themselves to blame. Now the Asantini dared anybody claiming to own a part of the land to head to court, adding he will face the court to state his authority over the lands.
No. This 70th-year journey has not been on a bed of roses. It's been through the toils and selfless sacrifices of others, and a special attention and mention must be made of my uncle, Nana Otumfuo Osei-Tutu II, who bought into the vision of the president at the time and voluntarily leased large tracts of land for the establishment of this university. My address cannot be complete without acknowledging the chiefs and people who supported my uncle at the time. And I realized that when the minister was speaking, and now you actually were clapping and like that. In retrospect, acted as prophets and seers and saw the great opportunities that the little seed that was planted as a university will bring to generations of more. My appreciation also goes to all students and staff, both present and past, for their invaluable contribution towards the development of the university. At this point, when the minister raised the issue about communities, I have decided that I would, upon the advice of the council, to establish a chair where we would then establish a chair in Asante history at the Department of History and Political Studies to deepen the relationship between the University of Asia and the community. But whilst we say that, let me use this platform to highlight a very disturbing development which has come to my attention in recent times. And that is the encroachment of university lands. I condemn it in no uncertain terms and strongly send a note of caution to all those involved to desist from it or face my wrath. The chiefs and whoever, the lands are mine and you are just getting it. There's no family land here in Ashanti. No Usabanyan can claim that the land belongs to him and therefore he has a right to alienate a portion of the land of the university at all. And you can go to any court, take it there. I'm sure also there will be a judge who will know that the Constitution and the Constitution of Ashanti says that there's no family land in Ashanti. And therefore, get the lawyers to take it. I'll get the court also to take over the decision. I'll get the court also to take over the decision. To affirm my authority on the land.
Away from that, lawyer Akoto Ampao, a member of the Concerned Citizens Against the Anti-LGBTQI+ bill, says their memorandum, which has been submitted to Parliament against the passage of the Anti-LGBTQI+ bill into law, is not to legalize same-sex marriage. Now, Mr. Ampao says this is misinformation just to sway people's attention from what the memorandum is really about.
Lawyer Akoto Ampao has come out to disregard circulating information with regard to the memorandum he and 17 concerned citizens have presented to Parliament against the Anti-LGBTQI+ bill. The legal practitioner at a press conference said it is mischievous for everyone to say that their group is for the legalization of same-sex marriage, and according to him, expects the media to challenge persons who deliberately or out of ignorance propagate such disinformation. Mr. Ampao and 17 others, including Professor Emeritus Sechua Menu, Professor Kweku Kakari, Professor Odro Gajekpo, Dr. Kojo Asante, had submitted a memorandum to Parliament describing the Anti-LGBTQI+ bill laid before Parliament as insignificant and unconstitutional and called for its rejection. The Anti-LGBTQI+ bill, titled The Promotion of Proper Human Sexual Rights and Ghanaian Family Bill 2021, submitted to Parliament in June this year, seeks to push for LGBTQI community members and those who advocate for their rights to be fined and jailed between 3 to 5 years and beyond for identifying with that sexual orientation. Mr. Ampao said it was disingenuous to discredit opposition to the bill as being informed by foreign interests, as it is denied the legacy of domestic voices which were dissenting, which the bill is based, and suggests that only those in favor of the bill should qualify to be regarded as real Ghanaians. He said Ghanaians will do well to remember that some of the civil society voices calling for the protection of LGBTQI+ rights today have in the past championed other human rights that were not necessarily grounded in our culture or tradition, such as freedom of association and free media. He added, Ms. Selassie Tega of the Human Rights Advocacy Center and a member of the group disputed comment that homosexuality was a mental disorder that could be corrected by conversion therapy. Speaking about the protection of children from sexual abuse, she said there was no need to single out homosexuals and fan hatred against them as if they were the main predators and pedophiles when crime statistics from the Ghana Police Service proved otherwise. Professor Emeritus Menu asked both homosexuals and heterosexuals be dealt with if they sexually harass children, adding that it was unfair to place a high focus on homosexuals. He said homosexuals are not asking for marriage or anything from Parliament. They are not hurting anyone, so they should be left alone, she stressed.
Well, Honorable Ambrose Derry, Minister of Interior, has charged the board of the Small Arms Commission to put in robust measures to effectively control the illicit trade, manufacture and flow of small arms and light weapons into the country. That, he said, calls for enhanced and sustainable preventive approaches and raising the alertness and the capacities of the security agencies, especially at the entry points of the country.
Minister of Interior, Honorable Ambrose Derry, has charged the Board of Small Arms Commission to put in robust measures to effectively control the illicit trade, manufacture and flow of small arms and light weapons into the country. The minister gave the advice at the inauguration of a 15-member Board of National Commission on Small Arms and Light Weapons in Accra. He said, though Ghana was widely seen as a beacon of peace and shining example of democracy and good governance in the West African region, chieftaincy and land dispute, insightful language in the media, and the insecurity situation in neighboring countries remain challenges to the country's internal peace. Small arms and light weapons, the minister stated, were the major threats to the peace of the country and must be addressed. He said, the country was also witnessing new forms of security threats characterized by terrorism, insurgency, maritime insecurity, cyber crimes, rising levels of violent extremism, and transnational organized crimes, which must be watched. Those threats, he said, had devastating effects on the internal security and civilian population because they rallied heavily on small arms and light weapons as major tools for executing evil acts. The United Nations Office of Disarmament Affairs revealed that about 875 million small arms and light weapons are currently in circulation globally. Studies have shown that a lot of small arms and light weapons move from the illicit to the illicit markets through weak control and monitoring mechanisms. He said extremist groups such as Boko Haram, Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb, Ansar Dine, Mozambique ISIS had used idle youth and small arms and light weapons to hit soft targets in neighboring countries Mali, Nigeria, and recently Burkina Faso. The minister said the fight against small arms and light weapons was a key priority for government and that stopping the menace would prevent conflict, enhance internal security, prevent violent crimes, and promote sustainable development. In 2020, the ministry facilitated and supported the commission to set up offices in 5 regions: Ashanti, North, Upper East, Upper West, and Western region, and the Aflao border post. Professor Paul Frimpong Manso, the board chairman of the commission, thanked government for the opportunity and pledged the commitment of the members of the board to guide the commission to make great strides in achieving its mandate. Some of the board members include Mr. Jones Bote Aple from the commission, Mr. Gabriel Nso Ade, and J.O. Sylvester Nkrumah. Presidential nominees also included Colonel Foster Ohene Kai and Colonel Gaspar D.K. Asare of the Ghana Armed Forces, COP Ken Yeboah, COP Christian Tete Yohuno from the Ghana Police Service, amongst others.
Ban on tricycles, popularly known as Aboboya, on the highways of Accra is expected to kickstart on November 1st, 2021. According to the Greater Accra Regional Minister Henry Quartey, his major place of concern for the exercise is the Tema motorway. This action is to get rid of tricycle operators from the highways, forms part of the Let's Make Accra Work agenda.
Tricycles are considered one of the many easy means of transport in Accra, both for the conveyance of goods and people, and even on some occasions refuse. It is a means to commuting, especially on traffic-congested highways. However, its operation has caught the attention of the Greater Accra Regional Minister, which he has directed operators of tricycle that come November 1, 2021, all tricycles are banned from the Accra-Tema motorway. Speaking to some tricycle operators, they expressed concerns about the ban on the highway, saying they won't be able to feed their families. They lamented on how difficult it is to find a job and are worried what their next option will be if the ban is in full effect.
Aga no di wonu tun qualify e na mi an wo aga e ga waka asun gbe bi egbe ko lodu ni bi e o ke asun gbe je me wona nutumo e ke ga waka tun ni kula e wa gbe wo si ni wona nutumo wo wa tachi e sian ni wonu tumo ba te on qualify on pa ma lo fai ko ne na mi an wo mo ke ba ja bobo ya e be ji anu e ko le won tun e ko de yin awake wake o ye no tun yin sika eje mi ta won ba lo ko konklu o na mi tun si be na na lo ne mo si ni wonu wa mi wonu ka mi ya efian yi ka mi na wo lo be la mo se ba fite onyu ba wo ko lo le ko ni le ko yin ba wa ya ke se ba fla so lo le ma jisa wonu o tun wonu o sika eja bobo ya mi nu mu wa tun wo bla yin wo jeje nu mu wo yin moto ni me ke ni bi mi nu wa tun onu jisi
abobo ya nanti na mi didua ni mi di abobo ya na ye juma kakara na ma didua ni obana abobo ya na kra minti mi ye juma mi nye juma minti mi ye juma na ma didua bebre.
The opposition National Democratic Congress has served notice with its intention to serve the CID with evidence of its allegations of ballot stuffing in favor of the ruling governing party during the 2020 general elections. Now hitting back at the EC after the back and forth aftermath of the 2020 general elections, the party's General Secretary Johnson Asiedu, speaking to journalists earlier today, says the party is ready to file an official complaint to aid investigations.
We take note with satisfaction of Bosman Asare's call on Ghana's police service to investigate the facts put out by President Mahama. Given that President Mahama was on solid ground when making these statements, the NDC stands ever prepared to assist in any credible investigation into the matters raised. We are aware, however, that Bosman Asare's call is only a red herring because he cannot feign ignorance of the fact that the police service is already seized with all the evidence on this matter. On the specific printing of 1 million excess ballot papers and arrest of persons in possession of the printed ballot papers, the Ghana Police Service carried out the arrest and therefore should be providing update on the status of investigation to the population. All that Bosman Asare needs to do is to call on the Attorney General to ask the police to prosecute the offenders. It beggars belief that Bosman Asare will now join the call for investigation into the killing of 8 Ghanaians 10 whole months after the police service had assured Ghanaians it was looking into the killings. The truth is that there is no real interest on the part of the police and the government to bring the perpetrators of the heinous crimes to justice because the killings serve the end of the Akufo-Addo Bawumia and MPP government insofar as it ensures their retention in power. So let the new IGP show the same commitment he has so far shown in bringing errant members of society to book over misdemeanors on the more serious crimes of extrajudicial killings. And the evidence is right in the bosom of the Ghana Police Service. The foregoing demonstrate clearly that the 2020 elections were the worst in Ghana's history. The EC must accept this truth and work towards improving its image and regain the confidence of Ghanaians and all stakeholders.
Users of the J. Krodua palm kernel oil refinery are calling on government to focus and invest much into kernel oil production. The kernel oil is said to be lucrative when given much attention and colossal investment in all aspects needed in the basics of its production. In an exclusive interview with Adoa News, the producers were able to vigorously display the production processes of the kernel oil and also pinpointed the significance of the commodity.
J. Krodua is a town found in the central region of Ghana, but a few meters away from the capital city, Accra. Krodua is located about 56 kilometers southwest of Accra and in the Domiabra-Obom constituency of the Ewutu Senya district. J. Krodua is surrounded by communities like Osai Krodua, Ofrijato, Akofo Krodua, Fiankom, Koleman, Bodriase, and Topiase, with a total of 10,540 inhabitants. The constituency was first created in 2004 under President John Agyekum Kufuor, and Obom became its administrative capital. Most residents of the town are focused with kernel oil, cassava dough, mangoes, and pineapple production. And with that, water is greatly used in these productions. Individuals of these community are immensely affected negatively by the irregularities of the flow of water and its healthiness. Some residents who spoke to Adoa News have expressed their sorrow on how they felt about the low access of potable drinking water. We rely on the rains for water in this part of the country because water is a necessity that is hard to come by in the dry season. In this settlement, this is the only source of water we have, but unfortunately, we can only use that for bathing and not for cooking. But if we have a pipe-borne water or clean water from a borehole, we could use that for cooking. A borehole was constructed by the president for the community some time back, but hasn't been functioning for a while now because the entire community depends on it. When it was functioning, it sometimes doesn't flow properly, and we, the members in the community, are compelled to use sachet water for all our domestic needs, which is quite expensive. With the other alternative, which is the river, where we are forced to share with livestock, some individuals have also constructed boreholes but give out the water to members of the community on payment basis. We rely on the rains to harvest water for our needs. A pipe constructed by Akufo-Addo some time ago still exists, and that water supply facility is the only free pipe stand in the community, while some individuals supply water at a fee. We are faced with tough times when the rainy seasons are over. There is a water body that is a bit close to where we are, and that is where we have to go to get water, but it is not healthy as compared to rainwater. We are pleading with government to support us with pipe-borne water. Water was a problem until government supplied them with pipe-borne water, which is not enough because their work there consumes a lot of it. The water source available to us is the one we have to pay for. We will be glad to have a borehole constructed for the community. Has been irregularity with the flow of water in the community, and as it stands, they have no water.
This is the news at 6 on Adoatv, also streaming live on Facebook at Adoatv Ghana. The news continues shortly.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with Rwandair today. Rwandair, the safest airline in Africa.
Rwandair, fly the dream of Africa.
CB makeup now. I'm correct. Why your best mankasa? That's it. Oh, middle. You captures back on CB men capsules. You see, CB men capsules in America.
Yeah, you see men and women's capsules now. You knew the dada. And one year packaging I the pepper.
Wow! What a packaging! CB men, any CB women capsules, no packaging is out. And you also no mood any biansan wako do pegi.
Share a painful any about town man kwada no for. Any kwada go di fie do ye. Enka ho.
Susanna. Ghana man be man tamase.
Dodo Afre 0247 111671 and 0246 578 750. FDA adi edwedin kato yato.
Blue City is a manufacturer and supplier of high-quality fashion accessories. We design and make quality bow ties, flying ties, lapel pins, ladies' brooches, fabric necklaces, African wares, and so much more for your weddings, schools, institutions, bands, choir, singing groups, individuals, and so many more. We use both African prints and foreign fabrics to make your beautiful accessories for you. Oh yeah! Contact us via call or WhatsApp or SMS on 0240-926-564. Locate us at Odoko Official Town opposite Emils Preparatory School. Check us out on social media, Facebook and Instagram at Blue City Fashion. Blue City, creativity and style.
You beat cancer by how you live, why you live, and the manner in which you live. I am Priscilla Sewamenu, Miss Health Ghana 2020. The month October is noted for breast cancer awareness, and this October, Sonotech Ghana is partnering with Miss Health Ghana to bring you breast cancer awareness campaign dubbed Pink It Out. So from the 1st to 31st October, Sonotech Ghana is offering free breast screening for all women out there. Plus, you get 20% off mammogram and 50% off ultrasound scan if you need one at any of their branches. The campaign is on. Join the campaign, support women, encourage women to come for screening, and support women living with breast cancer. On this note, I'll entreat all my sisters out there to come detect it, treat it, and defeat it, because early detection saves life. Thank you.
Back and moving on to some business news now. Ahead of the 2022 budget presentation by Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, stakeholders have shared their opinions on how government should raise more revenue. Now, sharing their opinion to my colleague Na Anyama Collison, tax analyst Francis Timoboy said the government should run the public sector as a private sector.
Director of Business Operations at Dilex Finance, Joe Jackson, has urged government to sell off some state assets to rake in more revenue and reduce borrowing.
Now, with respect to the budget, we want to see what the government will do long term to reduce the borrowing and to raise revenue. We can't just keep borrowing. One of the things I want to see happen is that the government to sell off some of the state assets. Some of the big stakes in some of the companies must be sold so that the revenue requirement for next year will drop a bit, right? And there are some hard decisions we have to take.
But tax analyst Francis Timoboy disagrees, saying that selling state assets is not the right way to go, but government should run it as a private sector.
I do not believe that selling them will do us any good. It's just like selling your chicken which lays the egg. The problem we have with the state institutions are that we are not able to put them to tax to perform. Look, we have state institutions that perform essential functions and they can be profitable. So why don't we really leave them? Why don't you take our hands off? I mean, as politicians, we need to take our hands off for these institutions to perform. It should be managed like a corporate institution, a company.
Like it is for a private sector.
Exactly. We should allow them to operate as private entities. If we really want to develop the nation, that is where we should go. Selling them off will just give you some small amount of money. Some investors will come and buy it, and tomorrow they turn it out, and then it is better for them. So I wouldn't advocate that we should sell them off. What we need is a change in philosophy and management policy. We should just change those ones. And maybe sometimes government appointments onto those boards, we can stop them. Give it to private entities for them to manage. You understand? Then I believe that will rather do us good.
General Secretary of the Food and Beverage Association of Ghana, Samuel Atu-Agri, has said Ghana needs to take off the bottlenecks to penetrate the West African market, stating that Ghana needs to have strong financing before the industry can partake in the AFCFTA. He spoke with my colleague Nanyama Collison of the Business Desk.
I want to find out how the association body is working towards taking advantage of the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement, which has commenced on January 1, 2021.
Well, I should say that the African Continental Free Trade Agreement that came into force, it has its own benefits and challenges.
Sure.
And initially when it was introduced, we realized that it has come to solve a lot of problems for our local industries. Why am I saying so? It was meant to open up the external market for industries in Ghana. But unfortunately, when we look at it as it stands now, we are still having some challenges in terms of assessing even just our immediate neighbors.
Have any of your members been able to be successful in terms of these continental trade?
Well, I won't say that they have been successful because it's an ongoing trend and it has come to stay.
So any of the members have been able to...
Those who are exporting outside the Ghana enclave, I would say that yes, they have benefited and they will keep on expanding because barring all challenges, if they're able to take out the bottlenecks that we look at, if they should bring anything for us to look at, we'll still discuss it. And therefore, if that one should be anything to write home about, we would want to penetrate within the West African market. And then also from the West African market, we move into the general continental aspect of it. But then the challenges that some are facing is where you would then have to have a strong financial background to be able to reach out to these areas. What we are looking at is that in future, when there's an expansion, we know that we'll benefit from. We'll still continue taking that as an advantage and then ensuring that we become part of the African continental system.
That's it for business. Next is sports.
Blue City is a manufacturer and supplier of high-quality fashion accessories. We design and make quality bow ties, flying ties, lapel pins, ladies' brooches, fabric necklaces, African wares, and so much more for your weddings, schools, institutions, bands, choir, singing groups, individuals, and so many more. We use both African prints and foreign fabrics to make your beautiful accessories for you. Oh yeah! Contact us via call or WhatsApp or SMS on 0240-926-564. Locate us at Odoko Official Town opposite Emils Preparatory School. Check us out on social media, Facebook and Instagram at Blue City Fashion. Blue City, creativity and style.
Ago, good people of Ghana. Here are some safety measures on prevention of coronavirus. 1. Cover your mouth with tissue when you cough or sneeze. Dispose of tissue into a bin immediately you cough into it and wash your hands with soap and running water. Avoid shaking hands and use sanitizers as often as you can. Signs and symptoms of coronavirus include fever, cough, sneezing, and difficulty in breathing. Should you experience any of these, or for more inquiries, please contact 0558 439 868. That's 0558 439 868. Or call 0509 497 700. That's 0509 497 700.
Remember to always wash your hands with soap and running water.
This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health, the Ghana Health Service, and partners.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with RwandAir today. RwandAir, the safest airline in Africa.
RwandAir, fly the dream of Africa.
Moving on to some sports updates now. 45 referees and 45 assistant referees have completed a 5-day intensive training course at the Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence ahead of the start of the 2021-22 Ghana Premier League season. The referees and assistant referees were taken through various courses such as analysis of match situations, offsides, handballs, situations, etc. Now, participants were also taken through practical integrated training session with players as part of their training program. FIFA and CAF referees instructor Lee Ki Chong coordinated the course with other referees instructors.
Premier League referee. I think this course has been a great one. With a few amendments that have been made in the laws of the game, our instructors have taken us through, and we are fully abreast with the current trend of the laws, especially with the handball law. And I think it's a great experience. This time we added the real-time corrections, where we had a video camera which is taking your practical session, and then you go for review. And I think it's one of a kind that has been done from the past things we were doing. I think going forward, I think this season, with whatever we have done here with the fitness check and everything, I think we are poised up for the Premier League, and the public should expect the best from us, and we hope to deliver our best, and God being our helper. Thank you.
This course organized yearly is very educative. It helps us get more insight about the laws of the game, and I encourage that this also transcends to the general public, because we learn a lot of changes are being made in the law year in, year out, but we are being educated. What about the public? So I believe that this course, as it helps us, also is being organized by the public to also educate them. Thank you.
My name is Richard Kumejiro from the Volta region, and we've been here for the past 4 days, and I think that we've had enough technical training of referees. The impact was great. The instructors who came around to impact knowledge on us, they were very good. They were straight to the point, and we've picked a lot of insight from there. It is a nice course which is going to help a lot at the grassroots. We are going out there to train referees. Also train district instructors who will also be assisting our work. We believe that if this is carried out very well, Ghana will be seen on the world stage as producing one of the best referees to come. And we believe that the Catch Them Young Referees program instituted by the GFA will be something that FIFA would get a lot of referees from. We believe we'll do well when we get out there. Thank you.
Ronald Koeman has been sacked as head coach of Barcelona after 14 months in charge at the Camp Nou. Barca have picked up just 15 points from 10 games in La Liga and have already lost twice in the group stage of this season's Champions League. They are ninth on the table, 6 points adrift of the joint leaders after losing at Rayo Vallecano on Wednesday. The loss was Barca's third in their last 4 games, and it follows their defeat on Sunday's Clásico to Real Madrid. Now, the former Netherlands, Everton and Southampton boss, 58, could only guide the 5-time European champions to 3rd place in the league last season. The Dutchman has not been helped by the club's significant financial problems, which resulted in Lionel Messi's exit and subsequent move to Paris Saint-Germain in August. Is it for sports? We'll be right back.
Water, but you're not getting your mouth. And that's all I'm about order. The rock you are fire. Malaria and tea. But you are yet more bono. What you have to feed it?
Malaria therefore yao. Enti awo. Ashire customers ya. When say mami aye smart. Ape CB Malakio. Amma ne baya odi ko school. She say aduane si berry market tie ni malaria enti a ontimi ni. Onya. Enti na ho ema we no biara to wo. So we malaria test. Maybe wo mo a. Edra bedewa ene CB Malakio. Yedinu na ne hahama. Na keka bom asone so aye CB Malakio. Edra we so de. Anya no kra o. Aye tata she.
Edra yi nyema apemfo. Abate a wo ma wo manfo. Ene nkwada a wo ni mfie dumie.
Suziana. Oh, de wunya.
FD ahwehwe saa ejedie nkrato yi mu agye atomu se enye.
Blue City is a manufacturer and supplier of high-quality fashion accessories. We design and make quality bow ties, flying ties, lapel pins, ladies' brooches, fabric necklaces, African wares, and so much more for your weddings, schools, institutions, bands, choir, singing groups, individuals, and so many more. We use both African prints and foreign fabrics to make your beautiful accessories for you. Oh yeah! Contact us via call or WhatsApp or SMS on 0240 926 564. Locate us at Odoko Official Town opposite Emils Preparatory School. Check us out on social media, Facebook and Instagram at Blue City Fashion. Blue City, creativity and style.
To entertainment and our final story for tonight, Uwala and Patch Babe Band respectively made history with their musical performances at the maiden edition of All Africa Festival Show Birch Park in downtown Dubai on Saturday, October 23rd, 2021.
By Nina Olatoki and supported by Emma Dubai to promote African culture as a global conversation, musician Uwala gave an outstanding and breathtaking performance alongside Patch Babe Band from Ghana. In the forecourt of the prestigious Burj Khalifa, the world's tallest building, some African artists like Rema from Nigeria, Diamond Platinum from Tanzania, Jima from Zimbabwe, amongst others came through, but Uwala fits in the best category to be an advocate for Africa, thus opened her set with her signature tune, Tinambani, an African song that foretells the story of the underappreciated, followed by Siku, which talks about the modern ways which contradict African tradition and gives hope to Africans by encouraging them to not lose sight of their roots and identity. In her last music performance of People Don't Stop and Yaga Yaga, the musician put on a show by engaging the audience in a call and response as they cheered her on. The performance was backed by professional and well-skilled band players Patch Babe, who were on top of their game as the Lioness of Africa displayed her skills.
Please, stand up and shake something. Come on.
wrap up tonight on the evening news. But do remember that Facebook has now been changed to Meta. We have more news on that on our website, www.adoanewsonline.com. Before we go, a recap of our top stories. The Minority Voter Caucus in Parliament has called on the President, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, to retract a statement he made while conducting an interview on Accra-based radio station Peace FM. Some more local stories. Lawyer Kutu Ampao has echoed the memorandum he and 17 others presented before Parliament against the anti-LGBTQ plus bill is not for the legalization of same-sex marriage in Ghana. Again, some tricycle operators have expressed dissatisfaction on the ban on tricycles, the operation on major highways in the capital by the regional minister, Henry Quartey. And in business, Mr. Samuel Atu Agri have said Ghana needs to have strong financing before partaking in AFCFTA. And finally, in sports, some referees who partook in the referee training course at the Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence have shared their experience with us. Log on to our website, www.adoanewsonline.com. Thanks to Asatec Roofing Sheet and Cookware, Blue City Ties and Accessories, and Vena Mineral Water. Now, the month of pink is almost coming to an end. Make sure you take advantage of Sunutec's offer. Go for your free breast screening at any of their branches at Osu, West Hills Mall, or Tema. And also remember, they have a discount 50% and 20% on breast ultrasound and mammogram. Do take advantage of that as well. I am Benedicta Dodu. Thanks for staying with us. Enjoy the rest of our programs.